Well, howdy, everybody. It is January 14th. You know, we didn't dare come on yesterday because it was Friday the 13th and we were too scared. So we just hid out all day because we were scared. We did go into town, but we were scared doing that.
We were.
I don't know what we did. Oh, we went down to Nashville here in North Carolina and went out to lunch. That was nice. We found a good Mexican restaurant, which we really enjoyed. And, Lord, they give you so much food. We ate it again for dinner. We had the fajitas for two, which that and a sweet tea plus a tip was $31. So that was good. That was good. That's not much more than you would pay for fast food. It's around $20 if you're not doing coupon deals or specials like we do. So we can't complain about that. And plus, people were really nice there and stuff.
Yeah, they were.
And ran a few errands, and then went for a long drive, and then we came home. And today we had to go pick up a few groceries from. We went to the Walmart in Nashville because we do not like the one here in Rocky Mount. And we thought we were going to have a problem with that one too because we're waiting. And all of a sudden it said order delayed up to 2 hours. And we thought, oh, that's what happened last time that we didn't get an order.
Yeah.
But luckily, then after a little bit, they had done it. And I only had 3 substitutions, which were fine. And then only one item was out, and that was my celery salt, which is okay. I can live without that. So we were lucky. And this was kind of a restock because we had been buying just minimal groceries for about 6 months now. So, you know, over 6 months, you start to really go through what you had. And that's what had happened. And also, we've been running into more problems with my blood sugar, dropping too low.
Yeah.
We had an event yesterday when we got home. We laid down. I hadn't eaten much. I just wasn't hungry. I have a problem with that. And I had even been trying to eat a little bit more because I knew my blood sugar had been dropping too low. But I laid down, and Brad laid down. I don't remember what I said to you when I did wake up. I know I said something to you.
Yeah.
I remember telling you the dog needed to be changed.
Yeah.
And I told you I needed to eat something.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that my blood sugar was too low or...
I don't think...
And then...
not that I remember.
The next thing I remember is I kept trying to tell him, help me.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't wake up all the way. And I remember I kept trying to do it and I didn't have a voice and I kept trying to, and then I don't know if eventually I said it loud enough that Brad, you know, he was sitting there with some peanut butter and on a piece of bread, weren't you?
Yeah.
And just waiting for me to kind of come out of it. And lesson learned, next time he needs to grab the testing kit and test me. So
I also made you take a swig of...
I was going to say, eventually, I don't remember, next thing I know he's making me drink this horrible sweet stuff. It was maple syrup. But couple of drinks of that brought me out of it enough I could eat the peanut butter with bread.
You and jelly.
Me and jelly, yeah. And see, the problem was, too, is she must have sensed, again, that my blood sugar was way too low. She seems to sense that. She wouldn't get... I remember she was right here, and so I think that's why Brad couldn't hear me. Because she would not move. She was glued to me. Mm-hmm. So, you know... we took steps when we did the grocery order to get... Now, we have glucose tablets. And it had run through my mind. I knew there was no way I would be able to chew that up as out of it as I was. The glucose gel, I almost bought some, but it's kind of expensive. They have it on Amazon. It comes in tubes, you know, in packets. Or you can get it like at Walmart and stuff. I settled with, I don't have them in here, but the glucose gummies. I figure if you had to, you know, I think you could probably figure out a way to maybe even, I don't know, make it where it would dissolve or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
But even something like that, if you're not coherent enough to chew it, at least it'll be in there and dissolving in your mouth.
Yeah. So that's what I was kind of thinking of. Also did get like some protein bars Because the problem is sometimes I don't feel like eating. Sometimes Brad doesn't feel like eating, and our blood sugars, especially mine, is dropping way too low.
Yeah.
And we got some box juices, and that's another thing that if that ever happens again, Brad will be able to grab a box of 100%, the little juice boxes, and he would be able to get some in me. Because I was afraid he was going to call an ambulance, and he said he was getting ready to. That was not pleasant. That was scary. That was very scary. It's better to run a little higher, actually, than to run so low that you're going to get in trouble. But, I knew when I woke up, I do remember I felt funky. I felt like I knew, now I know one was that I was too low.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of questioned it before we laid down, but I thought, oh, be fine. I'm going to sleep half hour, 45 minutes. I slept longer than that. Part of that was because it was low, and and I knew when I woke up it was kind of I felt kind of sticky and stuff, which is another. But so be careful, guys. And yes, we had tested that morning, and I knew that morning, and I had not taken any insulin. That morning I was at 104. So I opted to not take any insulin even last night.
Where were you at? Oh, we didn't test this morning.
We did not test this morning.
Okay.
So I'll test before we take our evening one to see where I'm at. I normally test. We started out the day kind of weird, I was not the one that had trouble sleeping. Brad actually had more trouble sleeping than I did. So he didn't get as much sleep. But then he'd been kind of working on a little bit of a cold. He took some cold tablets, and it wired him. Some sinus pressure tablets, and it wired him, sadly. It seems to be a problem with him. He took some of this here, and this wired him. It helped his sinuses, but, yeah, it wired him. It must be the sulforaphane or something in it that really, it doesn't do that to me unless I take the same kind of medication daily. But, yeah, so, it wired him, but he does feel better. So, we woke up, we knew we were supposed to pick up a grocery order at 11. Brad woke me up at 10:30. He slept through the alarm. And, well, you said you woke up.
I woke up, I shut it off, and then I closed my eyes for a moment. And an hour and a half later.
So, then we were sitting there kind of waiting. And, we had the delay. So, but we weren't really ready to, start our day completely. So, we hadn't tested and all that. So, but yeah, we got the grocery order, got it in, got it put away. It was time to buy things that you don't have to buy that often. Like we buy the big jugs of laundry detergent. It's either extra or sometimes it's Sun, or sometimes Arm & Hammer, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't have to buy it, but maybe once every 3 months.
Usually.
But it was time to buy more of that. Things that we have to buy like maybe once a year, twice a year, like paper towel and stuff. So, but yeah, like I said, we took some steps to make sure that next time that happens and one of our blood sugars is too low, I'm gonna start carrying a box of juice with me in my purse. So that, I get so worried that we're going to be out and about and it's going to be where your blood sugar drops too low.
Yeah.
And that's been a problem. And I'm very cautious of it if I'm driving for a while, because who wants to start having some issues with your diabetes when you're driving?
That could be really bad.
That could be, a lot of times, that's one of the first things that I've been told that they do now. Even you're in a car wreck or anything, they'll test your blood sugar. So, it can make you behave very erratic. But, after that we took a nap, because like I said, we sleep like 2-3 hours at a time, and then, like I said, Brad wasn't able to take a nap today because did you ever fall asleep?
Nope. But I got up and I did the dishes and made rice for the dogs and kind of cleaned up the kitchen a little bit and
put in more laundry.
Did
We had to change the bedding yesterday too because little girl woke up. Well, I woke up. Okay, if you got a weak stomach, you probably aren't watching me anyway. Because little girl woke up, our special need poodle, and she had pooped. But she does that. I woke up to a dog turd about 2 inches away from my eyeball. Yes, because she like sleep on my pillow. Well, then I'm kind of sitting up because I'm like, ugh, sitting up, and there's a couple more little presents there on the bed, and I noticed it's on my comforter. Thankfully, it wasn't on me, but I'm like, oh, it was on my sheet. So, we usually strip all the bedding on Saturdays. We just did it a day early. Last night, we did our beds and stuff. So it was an eventful day yesterday.
Yes, it was.
And today's been good. Like I said, we went and got that and came home, put it away. It was cold out. We left out of the house. Jellybean got to go with us because, we weren't going in anywhere. So she was all happy. It was 41 degrees out. I was not prepared for it when I came out of the house. Neither was she. I didn't put one of her little sweaters on her. And so getting in the car, and Brad had the heater on, thank goodness, because, okay, we're from Wyoming, y'all are gonna laugh, right? Remember when I used to do the vlogs from Wyoming? Well, we ain't lived there in almost 7 years now, so,
we wussed out.
Yes, we are not used to those cold temperatures. It's like the wind starts blowing here. It'll be 10 miles per hour, and we're like, oh man, the wind's really up today, because it feels like it. It feels like it. The other night I'm driving home and the wind was up a little bit. Not like moving the vehicle like in Wyoming, but, I could tell the wind was up maybe 8 miles per hour, maybe up to 10. And I was kind of laughing, so I'm like in Wyoming, But, yeah. So that's about all the update we have for you guys. I will show you guys a couple hats I've finished, so I can put them in with the rest of the stashes. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So, since I've talked to you guys last, I have done this hat. I'm still on the toddler sizes. I have done this one. Like that. And then I've done this crazy little combo. Nice and festive. So, and I'm working on another one, of course. And I keep it all in my scrap yarn bag. That way I can identify where I put my hat now. So, I've been working on those. What I want to talk about today's topic, sometimes I don't have a topic, sometimes I do. Just kind of whatever comes up on my mind, is I wanted to talk to you guys about owning your own truth. What I mean by that is we all have what we feel is inherently our own truth. To what's happened to us in our life, to what we think people have done to us, what we've done to people, just events. There's always your side of the story, the other person's side of the story, and then somewhere in the middle, a lot of times, there is the truth. Because, we all have our own viewpoints. It doesn't mean that your viewpoint is wrong, totally. I mean, some people's cases it is. Some people's cases, they're just out and out lying. Some people, though, there's a bit of a truth always in there. It doesn't mean that my viewpoint is wrong. Because you can have two people side by side, and they can even be siblings and have like a death of a parent, and they'll feel different. It depends on what their relationship was, each with that parent. So what I want to talk about is owning your own truth. And I learned the hard way, I can't fix everybody. I learned the hard way, the only person I can work on fixing and improving is me. I've always been the type where I wanted to help everybody, to the extreme of not doing things that were good for me. And but Brad has seen that continually. I'm not perfect by any means, far from it. But I used to always feel responsible of making everybody else happy. And you can only be there so much for people. And then you have to kind of say, you know what? This is not my issue. It's this other person's issue. Whether you're related to them or they're a friend or maybe a work colleague or whatever. But this is their issue that all I can do is hope they can get some help and get resolve what they can, because I really believe that there's some things you never totally resolve. There's some things that happen in your childhood and your adulthood that never really are totally resolved or go away. You're always going to bear some of that pain and stuff, and all you can do is try to learn from it. So all you can do is say, you know, it's this person's problem, it's not mine. And there's not anything I can do for him. Because if it's going to harm you or take you down, you can't do that. Because you have to protect yourself and your integrity. And you have to kind of build a wall. And that's a hard lesson for me to learn. To build a wall. I can empathize, I can sympathize, but I can't become so invested that it eats at me. You know, I always want everybody to be happy and feel loved. But even myself, that would, you know, I always never thought about myself. I'm looking over, I wrote a few notes. Because, you know, as I hit on, we all have gone through some things in childhood. Unless you just had a perfect life, that are very, very hard. Whether it was from people at school, family members, maybe it was a little bit older, maybe you had something tragic happen. And we'll heal to a certain degree. And I believe the older you get, you probably heal some more. At least in my case, it's that way, as I heal more. I'm becoming more self-assured and owning my own truth about what's in my background, what I can change, what I can't change, what people I just can't deal with because it's just not good for me. You know, some of those people, part of me will always love them a little bit, but I can't love them to the point of it taking me down. So I think we have to all be responsible for our own self-healing in a way. We'll have to use what tools we have. Counseling. Sometimes if you're a person that has depression like I do, or I'm bipolar too, you know, or maybe you have schizoaffective disorder, maybe you have some split personalities or multiple personalities. And you're going to have to go through what sources you can, what drug therapies you can, if that's the route you want to take. Nobody can tell you what route's best for you but you. You know, I'm not one that says, oh, well, this drug works really well for me. You must be on this. Well, it works well for my body chemistry. For now. It may not in a year. You know, but just have to do the best you can do. And I also think, and then Brad's probably going to want to weigh in on it, I also think you shouldn't ever make fun of somebody else's mental health issues. Because I think that's really a childish act. I myself had been made fun of in my family for my mental health issues, even though it's on both sides of my family, especially my father's side. And I think that's people that are scared of the mental health aspect, that, you know, feel better if they can make fun of you, that you have it. If you're brave enough to say, hey, I have this. Which you have to be a certain amount of brave to say you have that. Because nobody wants that stigma. And a lot of people have the same thing but won't say a word. And I get it. I'm just at the point where I'm old enough that I don't really care what people think about me. But I don't think you ever should make fun of somebody, you know,
Not.
because, you never know if somebody you love has been diagnosed with the same. I mean, are you going to sit there and honestly say that you think because somebody has depression that it must be because of their childhood? It must be because of something the mother did or the father did? No, you can't say that. You could have a perfect childhood and still have a depression. Nor should you act like somebody can just snap out of it because, we all have our good days and our bad days. My depression really kind of took a hard hit right before Christmas. Then come Christmas Day, I was fine. I was fine Christmas Day. I had a big cry Christmas Eve. Brad knew it was coming. And Stephanie knows me, we've spent most of our life together now. And, I know certain times of the year are really hard for Brad. He'll tell me, this is the anniversary of whatever, and I know that's hard for him. But please don't make fun of people that have mental health issues. It's not a joke. They're not saying it for sympathy. Sure, some do. Just like some people will say they have cancer or whatever for sympathy. But God forbid you're wrong.
Yeah.
God forbid you're wrong. God forbid because you're the one person too many that makes fun of that individual for having a mental health issue and they decide that it would probably be best if they were unalive. It matters.
Mm-hmm.
It matters a lot. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. You just try to be kinder to each other. Don't lash out at other people because you're having a hard time in life or you're depressed and stuff. Hurt people and miserable people lash out.
Well, you never know about somebody because, there may be somebody that you see.
Wait, my fancy setup here.
Oh.
The phone left. Sorry,
But,
guys.
there may be somebody that you think is probably the most well-adjusted person around. And, you find out later that, no, they were not as what seemed. There was a friend of mine that all of us thought that he was probably the most happy-go-lucky person we'd ever known, and he tried to put a bullet in his brain.
I know who you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of those, and please don't ever, my pet peeve, and I'm not telling you guys what to do, absolutely, so just take this. Please don't think that somebody is just crying wolf if they say they want to be unalive, if they want to no longer be alive. Because not everybody who attempts leaves a note. Not everybody that attempts says a thing to anybody.
Yep.
I'm living proof of that.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody does, maybe they're reaching out to you, trying to let you know, hey, I'm in trouble here. Don't think they're just doing it for attention. Maybe they don't even realize it, but they're reaching out to go, hey, I'm kind of in trouble here. I will tell Brad straight out if I'm like, hey, I'm starting to have some trouble here, and we'll sit and talk for a long time, and that usually does it, and then I'll have a good cry, and then, I'll wipe my tears, I'll put my big girl panties on, and I'll go on, I'll think, what can I do to help myself out of this, and it's like, okay, you can keep busier, you can do more craft, do what I enjoy, which is creating, in any form or fashion, whether I'm doing artwork, I'm doing a craft, or I'm writing. I have a blog nobody knows about that I write in all the time. And the reason that none of you know about it is because I probably wouldn't be able to write as frankly as I do. I even write under an assumed name. But that's my where I can just kind of purge. And I don't usually share personal stuff, but, I sit down and write what I call off the cuff. Is I don't really think about what I'm doing, and I'll just sit down and write, because I write a lot better than I speak. I write a lot better than I speak. It's hard for me to really, really speak to people much at all. You guys are kind of, in a way, like my safety zone, because if I was sitting right across from you and trying to talk to you, I would have a lot of difficulty. Except for like with Brad. Yeah, don't ever think somebody, please don't. And maybe you know somebody who does do that and does cry wolf. And I know some people that do that. Not personally, but I know of some of them on YouTube that do that. But even then, God forbid you be the one that makes fun of them, and then you find out the next day, this time they weren't crying wolf, I don't know. That's a permanent action to a temporary situation. Yes, I've had the counseling. But it is so true. It is a permanent solution. You'll never get to live another day. When I tried years ago to be unalive, and then my little granddaughter, who was very young at that time, she was maybe not even, I think she was about 2.5, maybe. Maybe 2.5, maybe 3. Anyway, she came in. I was on a 3-day hold. She was so happy to see me. That really got to me. I thought, I almost never saw her again. Because they had to work on me quite a while. And what a sad thing that would be. Of all the pain and stuff that Brad and I have been through with family issues, the memories of the happy time are what get me through. Do you have something to say?
No.
I never can tell, because Brad doesn't mean to, but he has like restless leg syndrome really bad. And even when he's awake, he's always, his foot does this all the time. So it's kind of like one of the things where you think somebody's kind of tapping their foot because they're being impatient. So I thought you were dying to say something.
Nope.
But, I think, this time of year and right after Christmas and stuff can be a really hard time of year for almost everybody, basically the older we get. So, we can encourage each other. You can be there for the people you can be there for. If it's somebody that's just too much that's gone on that you just don't see where that could be beneficial for either one of you, then, you can keep them in your heart, but it just doesn't mean you have to keep them, where any more harm can be done to either one of you, that's where I am. There's part of me that will always, because what child doesn't want to love their mother? The part of me that always loved what I thought she could have been. I don't wish her any ill will. I know I can't have anything to do with her ever. And the same way with my only sibling. There's too much gone on, too many things they've done, stuff that can never be taken back, So it's best to walk away with your head held high. Mm-hmm. And just do the best you can do,
Well, if people that first, you couldn't give an honest answer on this because you know me very well. But how many people, when they first meet me, think that I'm...
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're... Don't start. If it starts with an N, don't say it.
Well adjusted?
Yeah. Wow.
No, how many people would... Okay, I'm going to use it. How many people would think that I'm normal? Fine.
Told you not to start it with the N word.
Fine.
Well, after they talk to you for a couple minutes, they'll know you're not.
Me and my invisible friend, we're going to go.
After they talk to you for a couple minutes, they'll know you're a severe smartass.
Well, I know, but I can appear normal for quite a while.
Well, normal. Such good tea.
We need to order some more of that.
I did.
Okay, good.
Every night, coconut toasted almond tea. 1 tea bag of that, 1 tea bag of decaf, and in this big of a cup. And I take mine with some creamer and artificial sweetener, and it's just so good. My friend Kathy and I share a love of tea. She had never said she'd never had a tea yet she doesn't like. My hat's off to her. I like this. I like chai tea too, but I got to be in the mood for it. Sometimes some of the chai tea can taste kind of funky with your creamer. There's that.
Yeah.
Grocery prices. All I'm going to say is wow. A friend of mine said not too long ago that for Easter this year, they were all going to have to dye potatoes. And that's so true, because, egg prices go up at Easter time anyway. It's kind of like rose prices go up so much, around Valentine's Day. Can you imagine? I mean, I think it was right under $8 for 36 egg, 2 18-pack, which is good right now, really good, because you don't think about, you look at recipes, you'll think, wow, that looks really good. Now I look to see how many eggs it costs for, because, you're like, holy moly. But that's all I'm going to say about it, is grocery prices is wow. Wow. I look at the grocery order we get, and then I'm like, a couple years ago we would have paid about half that. But what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like if you do have any dietary restrictions or anything, like, we have some dietary restrictions, and definitely with diabetes, and you got to have.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the animals are our responsibility, so they got to eat, It's like, wow.
Yep.
So, let's talk a little about something a little funnier. Now, see, we had the funny, then we had the serious, now we're going back to funny. So, it's like the positive, the negative, the positive. Or Brad used to call it a shit sandwich at work. Anyway, we just watched a movie on Hulu.
Ooh.
We love natural disaster type movies. We love thrillers. We love some horror, but I don't like to hack and flash them like Halloween or Friday the 13th or any of that kind of stuff. So, there's one called Requiem.
REQUIN.
Yeah. Requiem, which is French word Brad said for shark. I thought, okay, it's about this couple. I'm not going to tell you all about it, because that's kind of take away. But anyway, survival, right? Yeah. We kept waiting for it to get better. I never gave up hope.
No.
But at some point in time, because it was so bad, this movie was so bad, it got like a 1.3 out of 10, or out of 5, right?
2.6 out of 10.
2.6 out of 10. That bad. That I start, Brad being good, because Brad knows if he starts making smart ass comments way early in the movie, he's going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe I'm liking the movie. So I start making comments about some of the special effects or lack thereof, and some of the poor writing, poor script writing. And so then, of course, he chimes in. He's happy, like, oh yeah, and yeah. What are you going to do when the movie's that bad, but you're not giving up yet, because it's going to get better. You just know it's going to get better, right? It's just interesting enough to keep you. Because either it's going to get better, or the special effects and stuff is going to continue to be so bad you're just going to laugh. And by the end of the movie, we were just like laughing, like, but yeah. And Brad wanted to point out, after 3 or 4 days of a natural disaster, the woman's hair still looked perfect.
Clean and everything.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that was our movie soiree for today. We usually on Friday nights we'll have pizza, which we usually we're cheap bucks, you know. We order or we buy Tostinos. Like tonight, we had just one Totino's pizza we split. Cause we bulk it up with veggies, you know.
Yeah.
Cause we buy like the combo or whatever, and then we bulk it up with vegetable. Cause we love the vegetable, and you know, and then we had like 5 each of the taquitos alongside it, which was plenty. I couldn't finish mine. Brad did, so yeah. But that's about it. I'm hoping tomorrow to get in and do some painting. I'm really hoping maybe we get to do some resin pouring. No, we haven't forgotten about that. We've still been trying to straighten this house up. We're getting there, it's getting better. But I really need to do some kind of... I either need to slop some paint on some canvas or pour some resin. Or both. So, I'll probably end up doing both. Do you plan on pouring any resin tomorrow?
I hadn't thought about it yet.
What have you thought about?
That I need to get out and take down those Christmas lights.
Tomorrow's Sunday, though. That's our day to do what we want.
That I really
It's going to be
wanna-
cold out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I can't handle the cold.
You really want what?
Nothing. I was going to be funny, but I would have failed.
Okay. Was it bad?
No.
Probably was.
No.
Knowing you.
No.
It was probably bad. You're not sweet and innocent, save it.
I am.
Everybody knows you're not. Carol knows you're not. Cassie knows you're not.
Oh, yeah, they listen to you.
Well, yeah, they're my friends.
I know.
They're your friends, too. But they've been friends with me longer. You're just along for the ride. So, I mean, I plan on doing something I want to do because Monday we have doctor's appointment, both of us. Just checkups. And then Thursday I have an eye appointment. So, I plan on doing something I want to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Besides more laundry. You know. What are you smiling about? I don't really like it.
I was being happy.
Why?
I don't know. Please.
Please what?
I don't know.
Wow.
Don't be mad at me anymore.
Why?
Please don't hit me anymore.
Stop. That's not funny.
I
because
know,
they're...
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Please let these people know I do not...
She does not hit me.
No, because there are some couples on here that do,
I know.
like Reverend Shanny and stuff. I don't want people to think that I'm
No, you're not.
waylaying on you. He's a lot bigger than me and a lot stronger. Trust me. He wouldn't put up with that. We don't smack each other around.
No.
He's never ever hit me or even yelled at me.
Yeah.
I've deserved to be yelled at a few times, but he hasn't. He does the opposite, which drives me nuts. He gets real quiet. And then in a super deep voice. It's like that. Like you've been sent to the principal's office or something. Well, I'm used to it now. Now I just roll my eyes and walk off. But when I was young and naive, say 2 days ago.
Yeah.
2 days ago, you know.
Yeah.
So, dogs are doing good. They're sacked out here on the bed. You know, because they're in a food coma. Julie Bean has her little sweater on now, so she's happy. She was so happy today going for that ride, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah.
She hadn't gone for a while.
She's so funny when she gets in that, when she knows she's going.
She runs all over the front room just...
Yeah. Try to
The
get
minute
her,
you touch that leash.
yeah. And try to get her to slow down enough to put the leash on her.
Then Brad asked, you know, asked me if I wanted him to hold her for a minute because I needed to find my cell phone. It had dropped off the dash. And I asked him to, and she acted like she just couldn't stand it. She had to be back on me, you know. She's still naughty. If he goes to change her, she tried to bite him. Not like seriously, but she fights him tooth and nail.
Yeah.
You know. And then they both look at me like, why, Mom?
I know.
Why? So,
Don't let this happen again.
this little lap electric blanket that I found the other day when I cleaned out my closet. There's always a bonus to cleaning out your closets or your drawers or whatever. found this, found the controls that go with it. It's a game saver. So nice. I don't even know how I got along without it now. It's so nice. And I think Brad likes it because I'm not asking him to crank the heat up real high. So he actually, well, you know what the sad part of that is, though? You're wearing more clothes than you were.
Mm-hmm.
When I had it up and when we were turning it up, then you were wearing less clothes. The bonus for me. It is. See, we women have a method to our...
ulterior motive.
Yes. So, tomorrow we're having leftover lasagna. Been in there a couple of days. We haven't used it yet, so we have leftover lasagna for dinner. That'll be good.
Mm-hmm. I got it out yesterday morning.
Mm. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's about it, don't you think?
I think so, yeah.
I just want to come on here and say, hey! Everybody else getting that throat thing? I had that throat thing. I know a lot of you, other YouTubers have talked about you losing your voice and stuff. Brad was losing his a couple days ago.
Yeah.
His sound all squeaky, or else he was going through puberty again. I'm not sure which. Again. At least I didn't say still.
Well, that's a good point.
You know. And you guys, he didn't want me to show you, but when it's more humid out, his hair curls and back and stuff, gets those little curls which he hates. His mom and I both loved him. She used to tell me, his mom, and this was not too far after he and I had gotten together, that I could tell when he needed a haircut because the end of his hairs would start curling. And I always laughed over the years because exactly what they do. And she loved it too. You know, he hates it. I'm like, trust me, we ladies love it. The guys with little curl on the end of their hairs and stuff.
And since we've moved to a more humid area than Wyoming, curls a lot more.
It does. Mine does too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but yours is pretty when it does it.
Yours is pretty. You're so pretty.
I am never going to be a pretty...
You're so pretty.
I am never going to be a pretty boy.
You were a pretty boy that one night you wore a dress at the bar. Am I not supposed to talk about that still?
About what? That must have been in a dream you had or
Oh,
something.
okay. It was Halloween party, actually, guys. At a bar. And so he went to dress up as a woman. And he even had the balloon boobs. He even did the stems pointing out so they looked like,
It was really
the nips.
Cold. Yeah.
And he was hit on so much. When we're dancing and these women and men are coming up hitting on him, they were all touching his front half.
Touching the tatas.
Yeah, and stuff. And I'm like, whoa, I'll just stand back. It was funny.
The creepiest thing, though, was when I was going to the bathroom, that guy comes up while I'm standing at the urinal and starts hugging me from behind.
I think I don't even want to know what that man was thinking.
Me neither.
So, yeah, we decided we are going to make more memories because we're talking about, you have so many memories together and trips we've taken and things we've done and stuff like that. And it's like, you know what? We need to keep making more memories.
Yep, I agree.
But, I mean...
Well, we're hoping next month we can take a trip out to the coast.
We're hoping so. If not, it'll definitely be the month after. But I'm hoping next month.
Yeah.
I need to get my friend paid back and then, this month's just as hit with eye appointments, doctor appointments, lab fees, having to restock because, all the extra dog food was gone and all the extra, almost everything was gone. So,
yeah.
It gave you good time to wipe out your cupboards. That was good. And stuff. I thought we were going to do a no-spend January, but we just had already done the no-spend on... We had just literally been spending about $200 or $300 a month for months for groceries, and that includes all the pet food. And the pet food will run you about, let's see, it's almost $20 a case of dog food. It takes 3 cases. And then box pouches was another $20. So that's $80 right there. And if you have to buy any treats or dry dog food, so it's about $100 a month. And we're not counting any of the diapers or anything for Jelly, Yeah. But you do what you have to do because you love them.
Yeah, we're not going to let them do without.
What do you guys think of Lisa Marie Presley passing away? 54 years old. You know, I was shocked.
Did they say what she passed away from?
They think a heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they think a heart attack.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I didn't realize she had been married 4 times and had 4 kids. And I remember, I think 2020, they said she lost a son who, to his own hands. And that's sad. So, she's always been very conflicted, and why wouldn't she have been?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to get off here. I hope you guys are having a great, fantastic, awesome Saturday. Now that you survived the 13. And we don't believe in any of that. So, remember, we love you guys. And we do cherish your friendship so very much. Be nice. Do something nice for somebody. And do something nice for yourself. You could like and subscribe if you want. Share with your friends. And do something you haven't done in a long time tomorrow. Do something, some me time.
Yeah. Do something fun.
Yeah. And even if it's just torturing your husband for a nap, and that can be fun. So anyway, with that, everybody say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Bye, guys.